tgmods.com. TGMods is one of the best store in what most would call a gamer's paradise. They have a great variety of cheats for games like Red Dead Redemption 2, FiveM, GTA 5, CS2, Rainbow Six Siege, recoveries, game accounts, Spotify accounts, and much more. All backed up with various payment methods to select from with an instant delivery service at the most cheapest prices out there. You can also join the Discord server with the links in the description for support, giveaways, and much more. Links to TGMods website and Discord server will be in the description, guys. Enjoy the video. What's up, guys? So today we're gonna be checking out Lumia. We will be taking a look at its features while explaining its risk factor in each section, and in the end giving out my personal review and moving on with trolling some players. Before we get right into it, I want to make it clear that Lumia is a script menu, and to use it you need to have Red Engine to load it up. Without Red Engine, Lumia simply won't work. So as I open up the menu here, you can see multiple sections of the cheat. Going into the self section, here we see a bunch of options as well as some categories that are for your local character, which includes exploits like God mode, no clip, invisibility, no ragdoll, and so on. All of these features are deemed as safe and are player reliable, meaning you can only get banned for abusing them in front of a player or admin. Moving on to the online section, here we see player list category, which shows you all the players in proximity, which you can select a specific target to mess with using the options in the online section. Back into the main online section, we have a bunch of options for griefing and trolling, which include spectate, glitch player, kick or ban player, shoot player, and etc. All of these options are deemed as risky as they are network-based exploits, which always pose a high risk if a server has a good anti-cheat. Going into the next section being Destroyer, which contains major network trolling options for anyone in proximity like crash players, force fall, and kick from vehicle. Again, these are risky options and pose a high risk. Going into the next section being the vehicle section, here we get a bunch of options and categories that has to do with vehicles. In this section, you can upgrade, downgrade, repair, spawn, customize, and modify your vehicles or vehicles that are around you. These options are generally safe unless in a server with a good anti-cheat. Then spawning vehicles and modifying its speed using exploits become an issue. Moving on to the next section being the weapons section, here we see a bunch of options that has to do with weapons, which includes weapon aimbot, spawner, exploits, and so on. These options are considered safe and are player reliable with the exception of weapon exploits and weapon spawner, posing a slight risk of being banned. Moving on, we have the visual section, and in this section everything is considered to be safe, which means you're not going to be banned for using any of these options. In the visual section, we have multiple categories and options that has to do with visuals like player ESP, skeleton, boxes, health bars, name, and so on. Next up, we have the miss section of Lumia, and in here we see multiple categories, most of them being exploits like remote control, dynamic triggers, resource stopper, free camera, server options, and so on. These options are considered to be highly risky and pose a significant risk of being banned on a server with good anti-cheat. Moving on, we have the last section of the menu being the settings section, and in here you get a bunch of customization options for the menu like being able to change its UI from mouse to keyboard, config section, menu sounds, menu location, and so on. These options are safe and pose no risk of being banned. Now that we're done with the feature rundown of each sections, let's talk about my personal take on Lumia. Personally, I recommend Lumia if you're into trolling and PvP, mainly because the menu offers a bunch of options surrounding those. From my testing, Lumia has been safe on most of its options, and out of 5 servers I majorly tested Lumia on, only got banned on 2 of them due to spawning in a bunch of items, which is more of a raid style cheating, which easily gets you banned. So let's get into some trolling, which I did on the same server I reviewed it on, using some blatant aimbotting and exploits.
seller that you've been looking for. Quality, killer T, customer service on point. He's the one that's got the market in a chokehold, no doubt. So don't get it twisted, don't get it wrong. TG Odds is the one, that's where you belong. The best reseller on the market today. TG Odds the name, that's here to stay.